everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build we went video game when we built the flash grenade from Star Wars Battlefront. And if you missed that build, we're going to include the link in the description below to our channel's homepage so you can go over there and check out Flash Grenade or any of the other super cool builds we have there. Now for this build we're going to go manga slash sci-fi, probably slash action. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. Holy cow, look at that thing, man. It is the rocket hammer from Alita Battle Angel. Check that thing out. Let's get a good look here. It's got a big giant jet rocket as the back half. It's got a big giant steel tip at the front for smashing people, and all this cool metallic stuff all around the handle, this big contraption. We've got copper wiring on here. We've got these cool, which are, I'm guessing they're charges or something on the handle, and we've got the wrap, the leather wrap. Man, this thing is sweet, sweet, awesome, and giant. So in this episode, making an EVA foam Alita Battle Angel Rocket Hammer Part 1, we're going to begin going step by step, and there is a lot of steps through how to make this monster. And if you want to build along, we have a template too, so we'll include the link in the description below to our channel's storefront, so you can go grab a template if you want. If not, that's cool too. That's it, man. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Alright, we're going to start our rocket hammer with some of the body pieces. We've got a 24mm and a 48mm we're going to stack up. Alright, there we go. Now you know the drill with our contact cement. You coat both pieces, you give it a little bit of time till it totally dries, and then it can make contact. Alright, so now we're going to go over to the bandsaw and we're going to cut this pattern out, okay? Alright, there we go. It tapers this way. Now we're going to roll it over to the side and we're going to transfer this line over and cut that side. Alright, there we go. Alright, there we go. Check it out. It tapers on this side and on this side. So it's okay. Now we're going to come in with this 4mm piece of foam and we're going to wrap this. So here we're going to start with our skinny little brass tube, and we're going to come in here and we're going to get all the ends. All right. Okay, now what we're going to do is what you've seen us do before. Edge of this circle right through here to the edge of that circle, and then from this side to this side, and there we go, just like that. And then we're going to do that for all the rest of them. Okay, now we're going to cut these two pieces out. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to cut them off, but we're going to tip our knife on a slight angle so we get a little bit of a bevel. Just like that. There we go. Alright, now we have a little bit of a bevel on this side and on this side. So when we bring it around, it'll touch together real nice. Get it flush at the top. Pretty flush at the bottom. We're going to roll it so it stays nice and tight, and we're going to line it up flush here at the front edge. Right. Keep it flush right there and there. All right. Wow. Right there, we're going to get our seam to go together really nice. Let's put some pressure on it. All right, there we go. All right, now we're going to start our next body piece, which is also going to be made up of a 24 and a 48. We're going to stick together. All right, gigantic foam. All right, now here's our two templates. This is our correct length right here because we used our piece of foam to do a test wrap. All right, now let's cut these two pieces out. Okay, what we actually did was we changed our mind. We shifted this bottom piece over to a 2mm piece of foam. All right, that's it. That's simple. We're going to cut a jillion little rectangles out. All right, there we go. Actually, we didn't have to cut a jillion, but we did have to cut 40. So there's all. Now we'll coat the other part. There we go. Okay, we're locked down. Now we're going to do the same thing we did last time. We're going to roll it. Right there. Edge down on both sides of the corner. Now it doesn't matter if the bottom does not seal. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the bandsaw and we're going to knock this end off so we have a flush cut. Alright, there we go. Nice flush cut. Okay, now we're going to come in with this 24mm foam dowel, and we marked off 1/2 inch increments, okay, and we're going to cut out these 10 little circles. Okay, now what we did was we drew this inner line right here, okay, and the reason we did that is these are going to sit on the edge right here. So in order to do that, we took this piece and we traced that shape, which is right here. Now we're going to transfer that shape over to these. All right, there we go. We rounded both sides just over here. And we're going to saw up and down, just like a sewing machine. Now we've got our little piece with the rounded edges. Now, all right, check that out, man. There's 10 of them. Okay, now we're going to come in with this 2mm piece that's going to go along with this, okay? So we're going to come in, cut our corners off because we don't want there to be square corners. All right, there we go. We've got our marks made. We've got our line drawn, okay? We're going to line it up. And this line it up at the front. We're going to wrap it around the bottom and we're going to hold it right around. Really, really cool. All right, now let's seal this whole thing with some heat. All right, now here's a leftover 4mm piece. We're going to come in with our brass tube. We're going to pop out 3 rivets. All right, putting a little super glue puddle down. Okay, now we're going to start doing the circular stuff that goes on the back end of our piece. We've got 18, 4, and 3mm. Okay, now we're going to go over to the bandsaw, actually the scroll saw, and we're going to cut the center of this piece out. Okay, so we're going to poke a hole through it, and then we're going to feed the blade through on the scroll saw and cut the middle out. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to go over to the scroll saw, feed the blade through, and cut this inner circle out. All right, there we go. We got the center cut out. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna go over to the bandsaw, hit the outside shape. All right, perfect. Now we're gonna come in and we're gonna bevel a real steep angle on here. We're gonna bevel from this bottom up to this right here. Now we're just cutting off a piece of the edge to make it easier for us. And remember, go very slow because you're moving toward your hand. All right, there we go. Now we got a nice chunk of it done. All right, let's get our dust mask on and we're gonna start to taper this thing. All right, there we go. Look at that, man. That's a nice taper on there. All right, let's come in with our smooth bit. We're gonna take this piece and we're gonna round the edges off. Make sure we're evenly spaced all the way around. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add an 8mm piece to the back of here. We just did this on the fly. All right, we're going to come in with this little foam dowel. Now watch what we're going to do. We're going to stick it right through the X-Acto, right through the center. Right there, just like that. All right, all right, there we go. Check it out. Okay, here is a 36mm foam dowel. All right, now we took two support pieces and we used some double stick tape and we attached them to the sides of this dowel. So when we send it through the bandsaw, the dowel doesn't roll on us, okay? This will keep it nice and secure. All right, there we go. We cut all the way through. See how we did that? See, it's separated, but we didn't cut the ends off, okay? Because we want to come now and we're going to hit those two lines on the bandsaw. All right, there we go. Now, okay, now we're going to take this piece and we're going to cut this end off. All right, there we go. Split it off. Now let's make a mark so that we make sure that we get it right back where it has to go, right there. Now we won't put it down upside down or anything. Right. All right. Make sure we're perfectly over our circle, and we are. All right, we'll just push right here in the middle. Okay, here we go. We're going to cut these 36mm pieces out, but we're going to need to cut them with a slight bevel. Okay, so we're going to do this on the scroll saw, but what we're going to do is tip the table a little bit. So we continue our line over and down, so we can tell how far it is from the edge here to the edge here. And then we just connected the two corners, and that gives us the angle that we need to tilt our table on right there. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's go tilt the table. going to come in, we're going to use our smooth bit, we're going to round off these edges. All right, there we go, rounded corners, very nice. Now we're going to come in with our 220 sanding stick. Actually, we're going to come in with our 80 grit first to see if we can get some of these bandsaw marks off of here. We need to cut out this square right around to right here, okay, on both pieces. All right, now this is how we're going to do this. We're going to come in and we're right to there. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to saw through. And now we're going to come in here and we're going to saw up and down like a sewing machine. All right, so now we've got this cut, and this cut. All right, now we're gonna come in and we're gonna stick the knife straight in through here. And we're gonna saw back and forth all the way through. All right, now, look at that. Okay, we're flush right there. Let's come around and make sure we're good, and we're good. All right, there's our 36 millimeter piece, and we measured in here just to make sure, 7 3/16. All right, there we go. Now that is going to come in and fit right in there. Oh my gosh, that is crazy perfect. All right, now on the back portion, we're going to continue this cut. All right. Put pressure on it. Oh, look at that. Man, that fits right in there. That is so super tight right in here. Wow. All right, there we go. Wow. That's crazy. All right, here's our 36 millimeter piece. We messed up when we drew the template. Ignore this line. This is the line we want right here. So we're gonna go ahead and cut this out on the bandsaw. We're in good shape, and now we're gonna come in and we're gonna do a second cut. All right, so we're gonna come in here and we're just gonna draw our line right through here, like that, and like that. Push it down to get good contact at the base. Nice, look at that. That is so cool. And this was the key to everything, was cutting out this notch in these two collars right here for this stuff to sit in. Okay, now we're gonna come in with our brass tube and an extra piece of 3 millimeter foam. And we're going to stick that on there, and we're going to push it down so it bonds around the curve. All right, now we're going to come in with a slightly smaller brass tube. All right, there we go. There's 12 right there. All right, now we're going to come in with these 3 millimeter pieces. Let's see here. Perfect. We can knock out the 2 circles with our brass tube. Good. All right, we're going to center it right in the middle. We'll put it right in the middle. Okay, now we're going to come in with our Dremel. We're going to put a slightly larger bit on here. All right. Now we're going to get our small, skinny little bit back in.
Pretty cool.
All right, next we're going to make our little clips that are going to go on both sides. We're going to take a 3 and a 12 millimeter and stick them together. We might go to the scroll saw for this, so it's kind of thick and we can cut a curve on it. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. That is perfect fit. Let's slightly round our edges. All right, here we go. We've got this 4 millimeter piece. We're going to cut these 2 circles out, but before we cut the circles out, we're going to come in with our wood burner. We're going in the same depth in every hole, the same speed.
Check that out.
Perfect. Now, all right, just like that. Now comes the front end of our rocket hammer. Okay, we've got a 48 millimeter and a 24 millimeter. And now we're going to make this cut on the bandsaw, and we're going to cut to the inside line. All right, there we go. Now we're going to take it, we're going to roll it over on its side, and we're going to... All right, there we go. Now we're going to slide this over to the bandsaw and cut this side out. Okay, now we're going to round off these corners, okay? And we want to be a little bit aggressive at first. So we're going to come in with our beast bit. This thing is super rough. All right, remember what we always say, don't be a dum-dum. Do not grind foam without your dust mask on. Let's get our smooth one back in. Let's clean it up. Really nice. All right, let's come in with our 80 and our 220 sanding sticks. Let's try to get off a little bit of these bandsaw marks. All right, now the 220, which is a little bit finer grit. All right, let's seal the whole thing and tighten it up. Nice. All right, let's take 5. Let's clean this mess up because you know I hate mess. Okay, now what we did is we drew these little triangles on the corners, the 4 corners. All right, now this is going to be an interesting cut. Really easy cut, but it's a little bit scary, okay, because we did all this work. We don't want to mess it up. We're going to go straight down. We're going to cut straight through. Okay, now we're going to flip this side over, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go straight through. Right to the back of our line, like that. Okay, now we're going to come in and we're going to slice right through the bottom, like this. Okay, now let's see what we did. Oh, man. Beautiful. Look at that. That is nuts. That is crazy. All right, now we're coming in with this 4mm piece of foam and our brass tube. We're gonna, there we go. In each of the 4 sections, we went ahead and we drew our mark on the bottom. Corner right here and here. And then we're going to spin around to this side, make sure we're down right where we want to be, and we are. Elbow grease. Ugh. You've got to be kidding me, man. This thing is crazy. Okay, now it's time for our handle. All right, we're going to come in with these 18mm pieces of foam here and a couple of 24s. All right, but what we're going to do first is we are going to Dremel. All right, we're going to use our round ball. Look at that, we've got a nice crisp edge on it now. All right, but first what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in with our box cutter. We're gonna knock this end off right through here. All right. Now we're gonna peel all the crunchy parts off of the edge, okay? Because that bit gets so hot, it melts the rim around the top of our trench, so it's hard. Holy cow, man, that is scorching hot. Man, you definitely got to wear a mask. I've got a fan off to the side that blows all the smoke this way, as you could tell. But even though it had the fumes going that way, I still wear a dust mask when I'm doing it, just to make sure, because that's burning plastic, man. You do not want to be smelling burning plastic. Meet our edge. We're going to go right through here, carefully. All right, there we go. Now we've got all of our pieces. All right, now we're going to start by attaching these 2 pieces, okay? We're going to have to piece this together because it's longer than our foam is. Just like that. Okay, now we want to bring the top of this flush with the top of this. All right, we're going to come in here, we're going to line up our little trench where our dowel's going to go, right there and right there. All right, now we're stuck down, okay? We've got this big piece of foam here, and we've got our long handle right here. Now we can bring our rod in, and our rod is going to come in and it's going to fit right inside our trench, just like that. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to come in and cut the top of this off flush. Okay, now we want to come in and we want to cut just outside our line. on both sides, right? And since that's thick, we're gonna go over to the scroll saw to do that. Okay, here we go. We've got our handle cut. Now we came into this piece and we cut out just outside our line. And we did that for a reason, okay? Now we're gonna... Okay, we're just getting some on the dowel. Okay, now we're going to line this straight edge up with this edge right here. Okay, let's make sure we're totally covered there. Stick down. All right, now the reason we cut this out so close to our line is we're going to bring our template back in and we're going to center it right. All right, there we go. Now we know when we make this cut, we're not going to hit our metal pole because our metal pole is right down the middle. All right, there we go. Check it out. Okay, now we've got this cool little step down right here all the way around the whole piece. Pretty nice. Okay, now we're going to come in with our Dremel. We're going to round off all the edges, okay? Nice rounded edge around everywhere. Really cool. All right, now we're ready to start putting pieces on our handle. Whoa, man, you saw how we got most of this whole thing done. Actually, we probably got all of it done. And you also saw us start to assemble the handle. We put our steel rod on the inside, and that's about as far as we got, which was still a lot of work. That's it, you saw it. That concludes making an EVA foam rocket hammer part 1. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel, and together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.